One can imagine the frustration that Darth Vader felt at the beginning of his Sith career. As a matter of fact, Sidious harbored quite the blame for this, as he did not announce nor present Darth Vader for quite a while after he accepted Anakin, now Vader, as his apprentice. Once the Jedi Order was dismantled, it was believed that Anakin Skywalker died together with other Jedi who tried to protect the Republic. The dark, armored, mysterious figure that was Darth Vader was now a completely new character as far as other Imperials were concerned. We've discussed earlier that this left a lot of them in anger. Imperials wanted to simply kill Darth Vader, feeling that he is not deserving of his high status and position. But it was around this time that we had the privilege of watching the first meeting between Tarkin and Vader. Unfortunately for two royal guards, it did not bode well for them, as of no fault of their own, they did not recognize Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, and the apprentice, the right hand of Darth Sidious. Let's start from the top. Vader is sent to Mustafar by Palpatine for the sole purpose of becoming a Sith Lord officially. Sidious gave him his name, but now Vader himself had to bend his newfound Kyber crystal to his dark wishes. To do that, he traveled to Mustafar and entered the now famed dark side locus, which is literally the Mustafar version of the dark cave on Dagobah. Inside, Vader, with some trouble, does in fact bleed the crystal. I'll make a separate video on that, haven't covered that yet, but in the end, he did what he was supposed to do. Vader made his master proud at last. Now, just a side note before we continue with the next page. Here's the problem when we combine the movies with the comics. At the very end of Revenge of the Sith, we see Sidious, Vader, and Tarkin observing of what seems like a skeleton of what will end up being the Death Star. From this scene, it feels like Vader, after he stood from the operating table, immediately, days later, they reconvened on this bridge and continued being evil. But it's not that fast. The timeline is skipped in the movies, and now with the new comics, they gave us a whole lot in between. Before we see this in Revenge of the Sith, Darth Vader, after bleeding his crystal, went straight for Coruscant, back to meet with his master. Coincidentally, however, at that moment, Tarkin was conversing with Palpatine, who was together with Mas Amida about several projects. He told Palpatine that construction is continuing, and he believes that they will meet or even surpass all their targets. Meanwhile, two royal guards were standing guard, protecting the Emperor of the known galaxy. Then Mas Amida continued by asking about the weapon, meaning the Death Star. He asked Tarkin about was it moving forward as it was scheduled. Well, the latest reports were promising, and he believes that, bam, someone was inside the office and the royal guards activated their staffs ready to confront the assailant. It was Darth Vader. Mas Amida might have had an idea of who he is, but not Tarkin and the royal guards. The only one who truly knew him was, of course, his master. He force-pushed both the guards so hard that they hit the glass behind Palpatine, crushed unconscious. But at that moment, Tarkin was visibly stunned. He couldn't even let out the word, "What?" He was frightened to see this gigantic monster basically attack them with no security on sight. With a grim smile, Palpatine told everyone to leave, but Tarkin still stood there. He was concerned with the Emperor's safety as he slowly was going for his pistol. But no, Palpatine told him that he is perfectly fine and again to leave immediately. Now, clearly this first impression left a scar in Tarkin's mind. Their relationship never recovered again, meaning Vader and Tarkin. While having fond respect for one another, their rivalry was ongoing for years to come. In fact, in this same comic book series, they have an informal duel where Tarkin hunts down Vader. Afterwards, we see their standoff once the Death Star is slowly coming to fruition. They were always trying to get a leg up in order to be Palpatine's favorite pet. In any case, Tarkin listened to Palpatine, and together with Mas Amida, they left the office while Vader showed his worth to Sidious, showing that he had bled the crystal and had officially become a Sith Lord. So that was it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. What do you think of this first impression between Vader and Tarkin? Leave your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up and hit that bell to get notified the moment a new video is up. Have an awesome day, my Star Wars friends, and may the Force be with you always.